People generally think that science is all about truth.
Oh God, what the hell is that? No, not the guy. Behind him. That ominous black void. It's hiding something, I know it. Ha-ha! Just as I suspected, the true nature of this video. Oh well, I suppose I won't destroy this guy's artistic integrity. Clearly he wanted this video to look like total shit by having a solid black background that artifacts like a motherfucker. Anyway, what was that you said? People think science is about truth. No, science is about knowledge. It's literally where the name comes from. Seconds in, and the Candyland stuff is not the only thing our mate is hiding. He's also hiding an extremely big brain. Just not in his head, obviously.
But as we'll show in this video, it is nowhere near the truth, and its explanations about your existence and your purpose.
Purpose? In science? Buddy. Science doesn't do purpose. The hell are you talking about? And their explanations for existence? What, like, you know, where people come from and shit? Yeah, no. Because what, that they are like, you know, factually accurate? Okay, I guess not. But no, really, do go on. I can't wait to see how you manage any of this garbage.
Are just as absurd as mainstream religion.
Just as absurd because they can be proven and are useful explanations that allow us to do things. Cool. And that one phrase really put a chill down my spine. As mainstream religion. Christ. Is this gonna be another one of them? I came up with a new stupid religion that doesn't prove shit. But this time, I'm right, guys, because I came up with it. It is, isn't it? And yeah, the video is actually called Why Science is the New Irrational Religion. So I think we can guess just how far into the depths of absolute stupidity we're about to go. Hold on tight. I think it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Every era thinks that they have it all figured out, and the ideas of the past were crazy.
Okay, so what? The reasons that people came to various conclusions in the past were, well, stupid ones, based often on little to nothing, and more about what the people who came up with those ideas wanted them to be, or as a means to control other people. The problem is, their ideas kept coming up short for some reason. Probably something to do with none of it being based in reality. We should do something about that, shouldn't we, eh?
Those born in the early ages of humanity thought that their primitive stories about creation were true.
Right. Well, of course they did. They were ignorant. They didn't have access to the literal universe of data from which to form coherent ideas about how the everything works. They had their cave or their village, or at the absolute best, a decent-sized valley to get to grips with. So all their ideas were based on the handful of things around them and their misunderstandings of how they worked. Not exactly going to get far, are you?
And those born in the Christian era thought that their religious ideas were true.
I like the way he makes it sound like there was caveman times where they believed one specific set of beliefs and then immediately moves on to Christian times, as if to say that just everyone on earth was a Bible boy and not far more likely for an individual to be one of the countless other religions and philosophies from all around the globe. But I'm sure he's not that stupid. Probably.
And most born today think that scientific materialism is true.
Do they? You want to back that up, buddy? Because I would bet dollars to donuts that most born today wouldn't even know what the hell scientific materialism even is. And even if they did, still only 7% of the world's population identify as non-religious. So you have to assume the vast majority of the planet think that there's something beyond the beyond, so to speak. So no, look at you being all wrong.
But in actuality, the people of the future will look back on scientific materialism as a primitive and childish view of reality.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Well, certainly not you. Because we don't know if the idea that if it exists physically is ultimately true. At least, you know, non-idea based things anyway. And while there are certainly a lot of things that are going to come off as primitive and wrong for the future spacemen of tomorrow, science isn't going to be one of them. In fact, it's going to be what got them there in the first place.
Don't get trapped by the consciousness of the era that you were born into.
Woof. We were going to go full spirit science at some point. I was just hoping that he would hold off for at least a few 100 million years or so I wouldn't have to fucking hear it. God. And hey, at least spirit boys don't act like they're better than everyone else, like this pretentious dipwit. Ugh.
In 100 years, science will look nothing like it does today.
While it's true that science, or at least scientific understanding, won't look like it does today, the idea that it'll look nothing like it is, well, dumb. The scientific method works, and while we will certainly refine the techniques we use to make it work, it'll still be completely recognizable as science. That's for damn sure.
So if you are really looking for truth, then have an open mind.
Oh my god, every fucking time with you people. Me am haves truth. You am must open Brian. See, this is exactly why you think you have seen something missing from science, when what you're actually looking at is a hole in your brain that is now your own ignorance of the subject.
And weigh everything we are about to say with logic and reason.
You don't want me to do that, because it's going to make you sound like a right dickhead. And clearly you agree, because would you look at that comment section? Completely devoid of any discussion whatsoever, and even switched off the dislike button. It's almost like all the people who logicked and reasoned at you figured out that what you were was full of shit, and not a whole lot else.
You see, people assume that scientific materialism is rational.
Well, again, I don't know if that's even true considering, what things people are, but sure, the people who believe that the world is the way it is because things are made of stuff think that that's rational. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't think it if they thought it wasn't rational. Because duh, I'm starting to think this guy doesn't words very well.
However, that is blatantly incorrect. Our system, Hyperianism, is mathematical, rationalist, and deductive.
It isn't rational because I have this different worldview, and for some reason it gets to be all the good words I like, and so all other ideas are not the words that I like because I am very smart. The fuck is actually wrong with you, dude? Seriously, I would be fascinated to know.
While science is about sense data, empiricism, and induction.
Wait, what? How is science not all of those things? Maths? Definitely used in science. Rationality, if you don't apply rationality to scientific inquiry, you're going to come away with nonsense, more than likely. And deduction, again, how come scientific ideas come away with functional models of various natural phenomena if no deduction is done whatsoever? I think this is just you deciding that science is these things you don't like and couldn't be the things you do for no fucking reason whatsoever. Well, aside from how smart you think you are.
Science is an empirical system, which is opposed to rationalism.
No, it fucking isn't. What the hell are you talking about? Empiricism is finding and looking at facts, and rationality is thinking about things using logic and reason. Those things go together phenomenally well and are absolutely both part of how we do and apply science. And to say otherwise is to make me question what exactly it is that you've been smoking. Probably your own eyebrows, seeing as they are conspicuous by their absence. Look, I know how someone looks is not usually something I would bring up because it's not something that they can control. But he did this to himself on purpose and looks fucking ridiculous with it. So what am I supposed to do? That's right, wear it better, obviously.
This can't be stressed enough.
You're stressing me enough. Seriously, the countless amount of stupid and just plain wrong things you have said already is really starting to get to me. It's like this dude thought that making stuff up and then stating it as smugly as possible was the same as actually knowing what the hell you're talking about. Hint, it isn't.
Science is not about reason. Science is about empiricism.
No, science is about results. Those things that actually do stuff that you want them to. What exactly has Hyperianism achieved that has brought humanity's understanding of the universe further forward? Is it fucking nothing? I think so, because no, me am smart science are dumb doesn't actually achieve anything other than making you look like a massive prick.
The definition of empiricism is the doctrine that all knowledge is derived from sense experience.
Okay, but the definition that that's all science is about comes from Dickhead McGee of the I Think I'm Smart channel. And unfortunately, that's just not true. In fact, science entails a number of things in order to figure out how stuff works. Empirical data is just one of those steps. But I'm sure that you're not gonna make out that science is just looking at things and saying, but materialism though, and moving on to the next science.
Whereas rationalism is the doctrine that all knowledge is based on reason and not on religious faith or sense experience.
Which is why I say pure rationalism is fucking dumb, because you can rationalize basically fucking anything if you try hard enough. You can think yourself into or out of any box that you want. That doesn't mean you're actually thinking or doing or saying something that actually reflects reality. That's what empirical data is for. Oh, and to be fair, the same applies. You could try to figure things out purely from info from your senses, and you probably won't get very far without reasoning things. But on top of those are other things, which is why your whole thesis is so fucking ridiculous. Science is not just one thing, you dumbass.
These two views are opposite.
At their extremes, yes, but no one uses them like that. Well, no actually smart person. I'm sure some galaxy brain is going to come along and argue that they can accurately understand the universe without a single bit of information that was acquired using their eyes, ears and sphincter. But that person, unless a literal godman, is absolutely going to fail in that endeavor because they are probably a fucking moron to boot for even trying. Seeing as rationalism also requires someone to have some capacity for braining to actually even work not that well, at least for that specific purpose.
And never forget that science is an empirical system, not a rational system.
There is literally an idea called rational science, doing science based on thinking about things. And of course, inductive science, and both of them are, as a matter of fact, fucking science. And again, nobody is understanding the universe based purely on one aspect of science. And to act like that's what they're trying to do is fucking ridiculous.
Furthermore, science is inductive, whereas our system is deductive.
Oh my god, stop. Again, these are both things that are used in scientific inquiry. You do not own deduction, and I am incredibly confused as to why you think you do. Either you are just incredibly ignorant, or you are just making shit up in order to get people to buy into your extremely smart and useful ideology that just happens to have never produced anything of value. And no, negative value of these videos making everyone who ever witnessed them dumber doesn't fucking count.
Deduction is a method of reasoning that guarantees 100% that the conclusion is true no matter what.
Fucking no. How the hell do you figure that? And just to make this clear, because you started it, we have to be talking about reality here because that's what science describes. And like I said, you can rationalize basically fucking anything, but true and actually real and useful are not and never have been the same thing. And that's even assuming the person using deduction is even smart enough to come to a kinda sorta true by its own rules conclusion. But yeah, no, even the very conclusion that all things can be come to with rationalism is categorically untrue.
While induction is a method based on repeated tests that only ever gives a probability of something being true.
What, you mean the thing that makes science so good? Oh my god, that's just amazing. That you are so stupid that you can't even fathom why it's a good thing to not say, this am fact and I'm never changing my mind because I'm so rational. Black and white thinking is fallacious for a reason, my dude.
No matter how good the inductive test is, it always has the probability of being wrong.
But because I decided I was right using my big smart brain, that means I am always right and always will be right. Even when the evidence right in front of my stupid fucking nose says otherwise. Because as we already proved, because of rationality, TM, I am always right. Motherfucker, deductive reasoning has been around for a really goddamn long time. And you are certainly not the first, nor will you be the last to misuse it. And yet, somehow, we haven't invented fucking sky cities that run on the power of huffing our own highly intellectual farts. Almost like it takes a hell of a lot more than just sitting around pondering shit to get anything done.
Deduction is about guaranteed truth.
Again, truth TM is not the same as actual factual facts. And I don't want them, no matter how guaranteed they are, if they don't actually fucking help me to achieve the things I want to achieve. I can pontificate about how correct my reasoning that all the whiskey in the universe belongs to me is. But until it's all inside my belly, it's not really a useful conclusion, and I have to put some fucking legwork in. Or arms, or nostrils, or wherever whiskey goes after I drink it. I don't know how bodies work, FFS.
While induction only gives a probability of being true.
Oh, now I see why you don't like induction. Because the probability of your shit being true is 0%. You know, because of how stupid and fallacious and lacking in anything of value they are. Damn you, inductive reasoning!
For example, classical mechanics was once considered to be absolutely true, and you were considered crazy by the scientific establishment if you thought otherwise. However, today it is known that classical mechanics is completely and utterly false. It's been replaced by quantum mechanics.
I had to let that play out because it's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. Classical mechanics is absolutely still a thing that works. It just only applies like at human scale. Quantum mechanics, it's in the fucking name, mate. It only describes the world at a quantum scale. And to have no idea that these two things are different parts of a similar field and think that one somehow replaces the other is so staggeringly ignorant. It puts my dumb ass to shame. You colossal freaking giga melt. Also, just to put something else to bed, even if he didn't pick something so mind-bendingly stupid that hadn't been superseded and picked something that actually had, he would still be an idiot for thinking that science getting better over time, while his whatever does fucking nothing but pat itself on the back, somehow makes science dumb. Guy is a freaking moron. Seriously.
Now, understand what we're saying. Science has been great at coming up with advances in technology and medicine, and that's wonderful.
But my thing does none of that. Don't you understand? If we all go with the hyper-dumbassism, the world will become completely inhospitable to all the humans and they will die. And then everyone called Sir Sick will be happy. Not gonna lie, lads, ladettes, and lad everyone else. I think you might be onto something. Something fucking stupid, but still.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos. And she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the